We have an extension of our program this morning because of that press conference at the Ministry of Information. So what we want to spend the rest of the time doing now is ask the AM doctor. Our doctor is on call this morning, Dr. Joseph Akama. And the reason we're doing this, hello, Doc, good morning.
Good morning, Mama B. Morning.
You look really refreshed.
All the viewers.
You look really refreshed.
Well, I have to. Everybody has to look.
Okay, unfortunately.
You know, listening to Dr. Edwin, who is one of my students. So she motivates everybody.
Okay, I'm not sure. It looks like we have to work on that sound there. But I just wanted to tell you all the reason we have Dr. Joseph Akama, who is our AM doctor. He's head of cardiology departments at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. This is why we're doing this. Most of the hospitals are not doing outpatients. They're actually given alternatives. So you have to be really ill before you can go to a hospital. There are also calls discouraging us from just walking into any facility with any kind of sickness. So we have him, so you can bounce things off him. If there's anything that's been bothering you whilst you've been home, or maybe you're an essential worker and you're out there and you want to bounce it off Dr. Akama, well, he's our AM doctor. He will take all your questions. So whatever you're feeling as you're home, and you haven't been able to go to the hospital. Yesterday we got a message. Somebody said she had a surgery at 37 and was wondering how she was going to make it to 37. Elective surgeries for some facilities has been cancelled unless it's an emergency. Otherwise, you have to hold on until we're done with this whole pandemic. So how do you contain what you already have? That's the conversation that we're having. And you can give us a call on 0302-211-69-102. Dr. Akama will take your questions and give you the answers. We also realize that there's still a lot more to do even on this COVID in terms of the education. People still keep asking a lot of questions. So we'll take the opportunity to also do some education on COVID-19. But if there's anything, if you have any chronic disease that you're dealing with, and in these times you haven't been able to do your regular checks, and you want to bounce something off Dr. Joseph Akama, you can feel free to do so. You can give us a call on 0302-211-69-102. We also have a WhatsApp number that you can send your messages to. Dr. Joseph Akama, if he's set now, can I say hello to him again? So you can give us a call on 0302-211-69-102. We've got our... All right, Dr. Akama, let's see if the sound is... Okay, this is excellent. So you were saying something a bit about Dr. Edwin.
Yes, I said she's my psychologist. And I'm happy she's really motivating it. I like the fact that she said we should self-care. And everybody must self-care. Sleep well, get to eat well, exercise daily, avoid rumors, avoid listening to bad news. If you can, I will advise everybody to switch off their WhatsApp maybe 24 hours every 3 days. Just keep quiet, listen to your family, talk to your family, relax. Because these are very unusual times, very stressful. So I'll be talking about sitting at home, staying at home, and stress, depression, weight gain, medication problems, diabetes problems, heart failure problems. So I'm happy to answer any questions that are pertaining to this our unusual state. And I really want to thank the government for making it possible for all the healthcare workers to do what they're doing. The people who are caring for the very sick patients, and then those who are also screening the patients at the front line in each hospital, screening patients and diagnosing COVID before sending them to the treatment centers. They are the real warriors. And everybody is at danger. I want to applaud everybody. The police, you should see them, the soldiers. I really applaud everybody for helping us. But I'm here to answer any health questions that anybody has pertaining to the current situation, Mama V.
Okay, great. So, for instance, the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, the Department of Medicine, outpatient service strategies, this has to do with COVID-19. There's a directive to patients which says only new cases will be seen at the OPD until further notice. And there are some numbers that's been given. Can you explain that if you are my regular doctor that I see at Kolebu, if I come around these times, would I still see you, Dr. Kama?
No, it has to be special that you are very sick. Then we can arrange and see you. But we advise everybody to stay at home. Very key to preventing spread of this infection.
But how do I stay at home if I don't feel well?
Well, if you don't feel well, there are numbers for us to call. We have telemedicine. I have a free WhatsApp program that I'm running. So a lot of patients know my WhatsApp number. They send me questions. I take pictures. They send me videos. And then I request labs so they can do the labs and send them to me. And I've done that daily. I see not less than 10 people. And a lot of doctors are doing the same thing. These are unspoken. Nobody talks about these heroes who are seeing patients behind the scenes. We call patients, we assure them. The pharmacists are doing a tremendous job by filling the patient's medications. So these are all things that we're doing behind the scenes that people don't know.
Okay.
But we don't want people to hospital unless they are really sick. The reason is, one, those who have heart conditions or diabetes or multiple medical conditions are at a higher risk of succumbing to this infection. So we don't want to get out if you can avoid it. And I've actually advised people not to do heart tests unless it's an emergency.
Okay. All right, great. Okay, so let's pick some phone calls. Owusu is in Sotum. Jennifer is in Bekwai. But let's speak to Owusu first. Good morning, Owusu.
Yes, good morning, Mama V. I have a little problem with my little boy who is 8 months. Virtually every morning you see some sort of boy-like swell on the either the hand, now it's in the hair. Okay, I took him to the hospital and I was asked to buy Augmentin. Indeed, because of the recent situation, the hospital is sort of closed, so they gave out numbers. And when I called, the doctor said we should buy Augmentin. He's done with it, but still we have that blister kind of form coming up. What do I do?
Okay.
Dr. Kawa?
All right. Doc will take note of that. Let me speak to Jennifer. Jennifer is in Bekwai. Good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning, Mama V. How are you?
Oh, very well, thank you. Yourself?
I'm also good.
We thank God.
Actually, my problem has to do with my dad. He has cataract, and he's been on medication to gather it for some time now. And when we went to the hospital, the doctor said because of the COVID, he has to wait. Meanwhile, it seems it's deteriorating, and we don't know whether to wait till the COVID is over, and if we wait, will he have the chances of seeing again after the surgery?
Okay.
Or should we go still and have the surgery done for him?
Okay, but I see you're calling from Bekwai, so which facility do you usually go to?
Okay, he is in Obuasi, but he usually uses the Jachi Pamso facility.
All right.
For the surgery.
All right.
That was where he was scheduled for the surgery.
Okay. Jennifer, thank you. So over to you, Doc.
Yes. So, Mr. Owusu, I'm sorry to hear about your son's condition, the 8 months with the boils. It's likely a number of things are going on. The heat, particularly heat in this environment, can cause a lot of problems for children. So what I will advise, and I'm going to seek the help of dermatologists, I'll give you my WhatsApp number, 026-739-5868, 026-739-5868. Send me pictures of these swellings. But I think use antibiotic soap, bath him regularly, make sure that he's dry, and then get antibiotic ointment like triple antibiotic ointment, apply it. Also use antibiotic powders like Lesporin powder. See whether that will help. And then make sure his environment is not too hot. Sometimes the heat can cause problems.
Yeah.
About the lady calling from Bekwai.
Jennifer.
I'm
Jennifer's
sorry
dad.
about this situation. Yeah, Jennifer. Unfortunately, the directive that most people have given, especially the teaching hospitals, the theaters, is that elective surgery should be put on hold. So there are a lot of people who are disadvantaged with this. So there are going to be casualties. These are the things that we have to be talking about. So unfortunately, I don't think it is wise for him to be getting out there. But what we can do is continue the eye drops that the doctors gave him. And as soon as the government gives the go ahead, then the eye doctor can perform the surgery.
But Doc, how about the concern that it is deteriorating?
That is why, Mama V, I said, unfortunately, during this season, and I stress that we do not intend it, but there's going to be collateral damage. There's going to be a lot of collateral damage. A young lady called me the other day saying that she needed to do fibroid surgery because she has to get pregnant. Otherwise, the time is going. Her time is going. And I advised her, look, this is not the time for these. It's an unusual situation. So it's collateral damage. But what we can do is continue the eye drops, have him exercise daily, take the vitamins if it's not taking any vitamins, and then follow the instructions by the eye doctor.
Okay.
Keep a line with the eye doctor and see what he advises.
Okay, let's go back to the phone line. Samuel and Tony. Samuel first from Kuforidia.
Yeah,
good morning. Good morning, Samuel. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I would like to thank all our health workers for that marvelous job that they are doing. But my issue has to do with this apparatus being used at the hospital to check our BP, which they normally tie it on our hands. It seems like they use it on a lot of patients that come to the hospital. So if in case it happens that the patient comes to have this coronavirus and it's being used on that person, and the same thing is being used on another person without any measure, like probably maybe disinfecting it before using on another person again. It's very, I don't know if there's something that they're going to do about that particular issue.
All right,
and the last one has to do with, it's my personal problem. And I feel some pain just below my wrist. And it seemed, at first it happened and it seemed like I was told that it's ulcer. I went to the hospital, I was given medicine, it stopped, but it has started again. I've been feeling these things all the time.
Okay, all right.
Any advice?
Okay, sure, Samuel. Tony from Kumasi, good morning to you. Thank you for holding. Let's hear you.
Okay, good morning, Doc. Hello.
Morning. Morning, Tony.
I have a question about this bacteria, the COVID bacteria. Yes, I want to find out.
Hang on, COVID is a virus.
Hello.
Okay, you ask your question.
Yes.
Yes,
people are buying food from outside. So I want to find out if they happen to be contaminated with the food and you eat it, can you be infected?
Okay.
And then number two, I want to know if there are bacteria that can move. In case they are on your forehead, can they move towards your nostril or your mouth so that you can be infected? Because I can see we are only washing our hands. You only wash your hands. We don't wash our face. But for me, I wash my face frequently. I want to find out if they are movable, that they can find their way towards the nostril or your mouth where you can be infected.
All right, Tony. Thank you very much. Doc has taken notice. Let's speak to Alice, who's also joining us from Kumasi. Alice, good morning. You're on air.
TV. Please, I want to ask. I'm a pregnant woman, and I'll be going for my antenatal. So what should I do, and what should I not do?
Okay. Do you still go for your regular clinics even around this period?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Alice. Thank you very much. Doc?
Yes. Thank you very much. So I want to tackle Alice's condition before I go to the others because the other two are likely linked. Alice, currently pregnancy is one of the conditions where the government hasn't stopped people from going to see their doctors, their gynecologists and obstetricians. So each department has been designed in such a way that when you get there, they will take care of you. And most places are making sure they prevent you from getting the infection. You also have to make sure you prevent yourself from getting the infection. So before you leave home, make sure you cover your nose. And then when you get back home, clean your hands, wash your hands before you get into the house. So when you get to the hospital, stay at a distance away from a lot of people till they attend to you. And the obstetricians have a protocol they follow. So don't get discouraged. But before you leave home, make sure your nose is covered, your mouth is covered. Take the preventive measures. When you get to the hospital, make sure you're not too close to people. If you're traveling in a trotro, make sure you're not too congested. And then take these steps. These are the routine steps. There are no special steps for pregnant women. It's the same thing for everybody. But stay at home as much as possible.
Okay.
If possible, call your obstetrician way before so you know that they are ready for you to come in. So regarding Tony from Kumasi, the bacteria, it is not a bacteria, Tony. COVID-19 is not a bacteria, it's a virus. It is smaller. Viruses are small. Some even claim they don't have legs, they don't walk. So it is the way I'm speaking. The other day, I gave an analogy. The way I'm speaking, I'm stressing, I'm spewing out saliva, tiny drops of saliva. And in those saliva comes the viruses. So assuming I had a virus in me, and I'm speaking, my computer right now, everything in front of me is taking these tiny, tiny aerosols. We call them aerosols. Inside the aerosols, the virus gets to travel. It doesn't got legs. It doesn't crawl. So when it lands on your forehead, that is where it will stay. Now, what will happen is when it lands on your forehead and it stays there, and you touch it with your hand and put it in touch your lip or your tongue, that is when it gets into your stomach. If the food is contaminated with the virus, it stays in the food. Now, you can heat the food, and that might kill the virus. But assuming you just buy the food and the food is contaminated and the virus is in the food and you eat it, it is going to get you. So be careful. Be careful how you buy food, where you buy food, how you treat it. Make sure you heat the food very well before you eat it. Most food vendors have been educated to take preventive measures. So IPC, make sure they are washing their hands regularly and then cooking the food to the temperature that we want them to cook it to.
Okay.
So it is not a bacteria, it is a virus. Viruses are smaller than bacteria, and viruses do not crawl. We transport them. They need a human to human. So if I have the infection, I'm sitting in my house throughout the day, I'm not going to give it to anybody until I walk out and contact somebody. And if that person loses his guard, does not prevent himself, that is when he will get infected. That is why the government said we should separate, we shouldn't get close to each other, we shouldn't gather for funerals, we shouldn't gather for parties. And then when you're traveling, make sure you are 2 meters away from each other. When you're talking to somebody, make sure you're covered. When you're leaving your home and then interacting with people, make sure your nose is covered, your mouth is covered. The reason is, if you have the infection, you don't give it to somebody.
Yeah.
If somebody has the infection, it's not likely they give it to you.
Okay.
So that is the reason for the protection.
Okay.
So, Tony, the food, if it's contaminated, can get you.
Okay.
Can give you the infection.
Doc,
if somebody has the infection and talks to you, coughs in your face, sneezes in your face, can give you the infection. So make sure you clean the surfaces of your home very carefully.
Okay.
Do not allow strangers into your house. Even your friends and family, keep them in their homes. Call them by video, call them by telephone. do not leave your homes. Very, very important.
Okay.
Even those areas that are not under lockdown, do not leave your home unnecessarily.
Okay. Doc,
Only
here's what we are going to do.
If you must. And when you leave home, keep the mask on. I have been advocating this since February, that everybody must be in a mask.
Okay, Doc, I will just ask you to hold it there. There are other legs of the earlier questions that we haven't tackled. I want us to listen to Emmanuel and Kwejo. We'll take a quick break afterwards and we'll come back and hear you. So, Emmanuel from Wager.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mama V.
Yes, Emmanuel, let's hear you. You're on.
Okay, so just about 3 weeks ago, that is this Saturday evening would have been 3 weeks. I actually felt very uncomfortable, particularly when I was swallowing saliva in my throat. More or less like a feeling of sore throat. So I had to go to 37 Military Hospital all the way from Wager. I rode on a motor bicycle, that is myself, protected, and then with my helmet and everything. And then they did a test, and then some few questions, and there was a form that we were filling. So the doctor actually walked me through, asked few questions and so on. And then he came up that I'm having a suspected case, and then I should visit the next place for them to do a blood test. And then because the test that they had conducted, the blood test they had conducted, they realized that I was having more the number of antivirals, the number of antibodies that fight against viruses were more in the test they had conducted. So they had to refer me and then do the COVID-19 test. And then when I went, I was told they didn't have enough testing materials or whichever they needed to do the test. So I should go home and isolate. And then there were some few prescriptions they gave me. But even before then, I was taking Kawa because I had heard a lot about it. Kawa, and then vitamin C was also what I was on, because the patient who was diagnosed with COVID has spoken on joining me that when he was in there, it was vitamin C that he kept on taking, and then it became better. So that was what I've been taking for the past 3 weeks.
Okay.
I've been indoor. I live alone. I don't go anywhere. Luckily, I was able to get some food stuff, so I prepared my own food, and then I stayed in. I never went anywhere for the past 3 weeks. I feel if I had been tested for the past 3 weeks, I would have been diagnosed with COVID.
So did you ever take the test? Did you go back to 37 for the test?
I didn't go back to the 37. I didn't go back there again. Actually, they gave me a WhatsApp number that was communicating with a particular doctor who later advised me to get a particular antivirus, I think augmentin or so, which also helped me very well.
Okay, so you've been okay?
I'm very okay now. I don't have any problem. But I think the earlier the better we diagnose people and advise them and let them stay indoor.
All right.
Would be better as compared to those that go about their normal duties without even knowing that they would affect others.
All right. Emmanuel, thank you very much for opening up to us. Do we still have Kwejo from La Paz? Hello, Kwejo.
Hello.
Is this Kwejo?
Hello.
Hi, good morning. May I know your name?
Mama, good morning.
Good morning. Your name, please.
Good morning.
Okay, I see. You have to turn down the volume on your television.
Without your anything. Kwejo.
Okay, Kwejo, it's you.
Anything.
Okay, we have to take a breather. I'll get my producer to tell you to put the, turn down the volume on that television. We'll come back and continue this conversation. Stay with us.